Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today I wanted to talk about how freeing it is to just let go of the pressure, to let go of the attachments, to let go of the ego. A lot of us are living through our ego, right? Because we are trying to control everything around us and we are looking for the external validation to make us feel better about ourselves. And the ego is not bad, it's there to help us survive and it is there to keep us safe. The only issue is that the ego does hold us back from maybe different experiences and meeting new people and trying out new things because it's so afraid of going out of the comfort zone that we've built for ourselves over time. We all have to understand that we cannot control anything outside of ourselves. We cannot control other people. We cannot control how certain things happen and the outcomes of those things. We cannot control what life is going to throw at us. The only thing that we can control is ourselves and the way that we respond to situations and the habits that we pick up and the way that we feel. Those are the only things that we can control. And the sooner that you can grasp that fact, the sooner you'll be able to be more free and be more at peace, knowing that you are in control of yourself and that's the only thing that matters. I have felt much more at peace since I decided that I was going to let go of my attachments to pretty much everything in my life because as soon as you're attached to something, you are now expecting a certain outcome. And that genuinely ruins our happiness because now we're stuck in this mindset of thinking that things are going to happen a certain way. And if they don't happen that way, we're then depressed and angry and anxious and mad at life because things turned out different than we expected them to. Just let go of attachments, right? Because the more that we hold on to things, the more that those things want to get away from us. I'm chasing this thing because I want it so badly. And the next thing you know, it doesn't want me anymore. It wants to get away from me because I'm so into this one thing and I can't possibly imagine living life without it. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's really this crazy paradox of life. And that's why it's so incredibly important to release that attachment to things. And the ego, it's so into these attachments. It's so into things being yours. For my whole life, I wanted to control every single aspect of my life. I wanted to control the people around me and my relationships. I wanted to control how other people treated me and how things happened. I wanted everything to go my way. And that was just so much of my ego coming to light. Okay, because again, the ego just wants to be in control of everything. It wants to know what's going to happen. And life truly doesn't work that way because you never know what's going to happen. So I was holding on to so many things and I was trying so hard to control everything around me. I was trying to get people to see me, to see how they were treating me, to see how life worked, and to understand me and every part of me. And I was trying to force people to do these things. And it never worked out for me. It never did because I was so busy trying to get everyone to see all these things, trying to get people to see that I was right in a situation, that I had completely lost the whole point of our existence. And it was truly one of the hardest things for me to accept because I was so used to always having to be in control. I was so busy looking for all of these things outside of me, the external validation to reaffirm the person that I am. And I was looking for love outside of myself. And I never truly realized that all of those things that I was looking for, I needed to find within myself. I was looking for it everywhere because I knew deep down that I had that love and the validation that I needed within me. But because I was looking for it elsewhere, I was stressing out. I was never secure in who I was. And I was constantly looking for the reassurance that I was doing the right thing, that I was with the right person, that I was at the right job. And I kept looking for things outside of me. But after all this time, after so much trial and error, after so much self reflection and having this time to be by myself and see things more clearly, I realized that everything, everything that we need, everything that we're searching for, everything that we're craving is something that we already have inside ourselves. And I was going crazy, stressing myself out, trying to make things fit into my life and force them to stay, when in all reality, I had to let them go. And the longer I held on to them, the longer I just kept suffering. And I kept suffering until I couldn't take it anymore, until I finally just actually felt like I lost my mind and decided that there was no point in holding on to these things anymore because they weren't for me. And I was trying to mold them to be something that they weren't so that they could fit me. Okay? When you let go of your ego, you start to accept other people for who they are. Instead of seeing the potential in people, seeing who they could be if they did A, B, and C, you have to let go of the idea of who you want people to be and understand that they are who they are. You cannot mold people to be a certain way to fit into your life, just as you can't mold anything around you to be a certain way to fit into your life. If you have to work so hard and it takes all of your energy and all of your being and you're miserable, it's not for you. And so I learned the hard way that I cannot change anybody else. I cannot try to make them for me by nagging them and arguing with them and constantly reminding them of who they are not. And again, the sooner you accept people for who they are, the easier it's going to be for you. We put so much stress on ourselves, and it's like we ignore the signs that are literally all around us constantly. If you open your eyes and you see these things, you can automatically pick up on the things that are for you and the things that are not for you. If you start following your intuition more and let go of your ego, you will literally feel inside of you when something is right for you and when something is wrong for you. I still have times where I have these little battles with my ego and my intuition, right? Because I know deep down what my truth is. I know it. I feel it in my bones. But sometimes I get so stuck in this reality around me, and I get these thoughts and these feelings that my ego brings up. It's almost like it's trying to pull me back in to the place that I truly do not want to be anymore. And so I have these little battles constantly. And it's like having to remind myself all the time, like, you're fine. It's all right. Leave those thoughts, leave those feelings because they are not yours anymore. They do not belong to you anymore, to this current person that you are. And because of that, I've had to set a lot of boundaries with myself and with other people around me. Because when someone crosses that boundary and you allow them to, you're letting other people know that you're not respecting yourself and you're not respecting your feelings and that you're putting other people above you. Okay. And that's something that I struggled with as a people pleaser for a very long time. But when I kind of let go of my ego, and it wasn't because my ego is a lot of things, but it's also a huge people pleaser. And it's also so worried about everyone else and how other people feel. And I've been that person where I've thought, it's fine, people can treat me this way, people can do that, they can do whatever they want. Like, it's gonna be fine. I know I'm gonna get through it. I know I'm gonna be fine. I can deal with it if life is hard for me and it's easy for everyone else. And it was like I was sacrificing myself so that other people around me could be happy, so that I wouldn't interfere with anyone's comfort, even though on the inside I felt like I was dying. And when I finally put my ego in check, I was then able to stand up for myself more and be more vocal about what was going on in my inner world and to tell people, I don't really care if it doesn't make sense for you because it makes sense for me. And that's what truly matters. So if I tell you how I feel and you're not understanding and you're not grasping it, it has nothing to do with me, but everything to do with the other person and their level of understanding themselves. I will never say that the ego is bad. However, I will say that letting your ego run your life is going to make you incredibly unhappy, and it is going to keep you from experiencing so many different things in life. So instead of staying in that comfort zone that you're so used to, try and take a step out and try and ignore that nagging in your head telling you not to do it, telling you that you're not worthy of experiencing life to its fullest. So when you're in that constant pain and you're living in that survival mode for your whole life, now you're in that mindset and your brain is constantly looking for things to reaffirm that pain, to reaffirm that sadness, to reaffirm that anger, whatever it is that you felt for your entire life. If you have a negative thought telling you that you are not worthy or telling you that it's wrong for you to try that or you don't deserve to be happy, whatever it is that your brain automatically goes to, just stop for a second, observe the thought, and then say the complete opposite to that thought. So if it's, I hate myself, you say, no, that's not true. I love myself and I really want to try this new thing and I know it's going to be fun regardless. So I shouldn't be so worried about failing. And instead, I should just enjoy this moment and enjoy this thing for what it is. The ego is so attached to the outcome, it's so afraid of failure. You're not going to fail. Failure does not exist. The only thing you can get from that is growth. You can learn the lessons, you can learn something new and try again, try it a different way. And you keep doing that until you're successful, until it works for you. So, being able to take off these little labels that the ego has put on you of who you are, you're a failure, you're trash, you don't know what you're talking about, you are not loving, no one has ever loved you in your entire life. No, reaffirm to yourself none of that is true. That is conditioning that I've had over time to hate myself and to think that I'm not worthy or deserving of living a wonderful life. Because you are worthy of living a wonderful life. You are deserving of having everything that you've ever dreamed of. But the ego is making you think that you're not. There is no rush to do things. You have your whole life to figure things out. And if you want to learn something new and it takes 10 years, then so be it. Who cares? The ego is putting a time limit on things for you. I can think of so many times that when I was younger, I thought, oh, by 25, my whole life, I'll have it all figured out. I'll have this great job. I'll have this great husband, this wonderful love. I'll probably have a kid or two. Everything's going to be great. I am 26 years old. I am single. I don't even really like my job that much. I'm living with my parents, no kids. I am doing this and I'm constantly just trying to figure it out every single day. I had this idea in my head that it was all going to be figured out, but life had a different plan. But if it takes you an extra year to get there, it's not something that you should beat yourself up over because everything has its own timing. But the ego, it doesn't understand that. It's like, how do we get there fast? I want it overnight. I don't want to spend years doing this. And just let that go. Let the idea of your ego go because it's only holding you back from the person that you truly are, and it's only holding you back from living a happy and fulfilled life. So take some time and observe for a little bit and see which thoughts are coming into your head and see what thoughts are the ego and what things are making you feel pressured to be where you're not. And when you take that time to observe and really figure it out, then you can find like these reaffirming things for yourself that make you feel good, that make you feel more at peace. And again, you'll have these battles, right, between the true you and your ego. But just know that no matter what, you are on the path that you're supposed to be on. You are in the exact place that you're supposed to be. And anything, anything that is meant for you is going to come to you. So you don't have to attach yourself to people, places, or things to keep them there. Just know that if it's not for you, the universe is going to take it out of your life. And if you allow it and you don't resist, it'll be so easy for you. And you'll just know, and you'll be more secure in the person that you are. There's no need to rush anywhere. Just take your time. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Peace.